Is it possible to do the Shelby Anne makeup look with your current makeup routine? Let's put it to the test. My name is Michelle and I'm a pro makeup artist. And one thing that I find really fascinating about the Shelby Anne method, I think it's more about the technique more than it is about the actual products. I'm gonna start off first with the skin prep because I didn't want to go out and buy anything. I'm using the Rhode Beauty Glazing Milk. The key to flawless makeup and a youthful look is always making sure that your skin is nice and hydrated. While that's still wet, we're gonna go right in. Hyaluronic acid serum. She uses the e.l.f. one. This is from Inky List. I think that it'll do a very similar job. We shall find out. And let it dry down a little bit before we go into the SPF. Already our skin has that beautiful glow that she talks about in her video. We're going to go right into the e.l.f. Sun Touchable Woe Glow. This is actually one of my favorite tinted SPFs. I use the shade Sunbeam. This actually gives a really nice, beautiful, radiant glow and doesn't leave a white cast. And you can see the beautiful, natural, radiant finish that our skin has. It's really nice and hydrated. So since I do have more oily combination skin, I'm going to actually let this sit for 5 minutes before I put any makeup on top. Our skin prep is nice and absorbed. We're going to go right into my makeup routine. This is personally what I use not only on myself, but also on my clients. I am a huge fan of cream makeup. She starts off first by evening out her skin tone with the foundation shade. We're just going to apply this all over. I usually don't do my makeup like this, but I'm going to follow her technique exactly. She does something that I personally don't like doing on brown skin because naturally we have a lot of discoloration. If I were to go in with these lighter shades, it's going to bring that forward. I am going to cheat a little tiny bit and go into that skin tone shade just to add coverage on my dark circles before I put anything light on top. She goes into a super light shade first and places that in the inner corner of the eye only. And then she goes into a shade that's just a little tiny bit darker, but still pretty bright. And she applies quite a bit of it. This is what it's looking like so far. I am going to put a little tiny bit more of the brightening shade just right in here because she has hers really nice and bright. So that's what we want to do too. Blend that into the skin. Now, she doesn't use any contour, which was pretty surprising for a glam look. We're going to go into a cream bronzer just like she does. Place that right where I would place my contour bronzer. One thing that I know about glam makeup is it's all about contrast between light and dark, which is why I think this technique works so well. We are going to put some down the side of our nose. I don't remember if she does this, but I'm going to do it. And I'm just going to blend that in. Now, I don't remember if she does this before or after the blush. Take the middle of the 3 shades and use that to clean up the contour area. I think this is what she uses in place of contour. She goes into a bubblegum pink shade, which is what I'm going to use. And we're just going to place that towards the back hairline, giving a nice snatched effect. Make sure everything is nice and blended. Here's the most important step. We're looking super duper dewy, super duper glowy. I personally would never leave my client looking like this. I always do powder. So we're going to start off first with the pink setting powder. She uses the L'Oreal one, but I cannot find it. She does apply hers with a powder puff. Place that underneath and really brighten our skin. Look at that. Get rid of all that shine. This is the Gerard Cosmetics Slay the Bake powder. Seriously, my favorite pink powder of all time. Now she goes in with a powder bronzer to basically enhance the bronzer that she already has on her skin. So I'm going to go into my favorite powder bronzer from Alamar Cosmetics, and I'm going to use a fluffy brush to apply that. This is the Spectrum A01 brush. We're just going to stamp that right on top. We're basically placing that right where we place the cream bronzer. She also uses her bronzer as a little eyeshadow, so I'm just going to put that in my crease. The star of the show, I need to get that L'Oreal blush. It is stunning, but I have been loving the Kosas blushes. This is the shade Hype, and we're going to use a Spectrum C07 brush, just stamping that right on top and then fluffing it out. She talks about the fact that she doesn't have a good drugstore highlighter, but I know that she does use a highlighter, so I am going to use a powder highlighter just to go ahead and add that glow to the skin that she has. Go into one of my favorite brow gels. This is the Dominique Cosmetics Brow Blowout Shaping Gel, and I just love how strong of a hold this gives my really unruly brows. Another product I need to definitely get from the drugstore is that L'Oreal setting spray. I've heard nothing but great things about it, but instead today we're going to use my personal favorite affordable setting spray. And I'm just going to go ahead and do a little neutral lip combo. She goes in with a lipstick and then a lip gloss. I'm just going to do the lip gloss. This is the Maybelline Lifter Gloss in the shade 006 Reef, which I thought would be a really good nudie lip combo to really add that glam. And there we have the finished look. Honestly, I think that it's more so the technique than it is the products, because I definitely think that this is a very similar look to what Shelby Anne got. I was nervous about the under eye, but I think it looks really good. The only thing I would change, I definitely would add a little bit of contour just to add a little more depth to my skin, or maybe use a darker bronzer to add that depth. Let me know what you think down below. Would you try out this technique? And let me know whose makeup technique you want me to test out next.